superhero aficionados, and I say that with all earnestness. We have you, the fans of this show. Some of you are fans of superheroes, which we're glad of. Couldn't do our job without it, right? Because I'm a superhero, and that's what we do. Now, there is one character out there that is not a superhero, but some of you guys may be aficionados on him. I am definitely an expert on the subject. Who is this character, you ask, that we are talking about today? Very important character, but more importantly, it shows us once again that Disney is much morons now. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to call them Disney anymore. We're going to call them Disney Corp. So we can differentiate between real Disney, which is, Walt Disney's company that he made many, many years ago that made really good movies, and Disney Corp, which is the nonsense that they're doing now where it's all about the money, not about the shows. So, character involved, Boba Fett. Yes, that's right. They're coming out with a new TV show sometime this year, next year. I don't remember when, don't care, about the Book of Boba Fett. Now, this is not a review of that show because A, I haven't seen it, and B, I really have yet to build an opinion other than the fact that it's going to be wrong because it's Disney Corp involved. But that's not quite what we're talking about here. One of the important aspects to remember about Boba Fett is the fact that a lot of his background, a lot of his history is based off of Legends. And I have to say this to my Legends guys out there. The guys that wrote these Legends books, I am sorry you guys went through that much work for these guys, this Disney Corp, to completely just destroy everything you've ever done. This is terrible. The latest rework for Boba Fett is the renaming of his ship. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about his ship, Boba Fett's ship is called Slave One. Some of you may immediately recognize the fact why Disney Corp would want to change this. Oh my gosh, they have the word slave. For the love of Pete, he's one of the bad guys. Why does this surprise anyone? But anyhow, they plan on renaming his ship. To what, you might ask? Is it freedom? Is it amazingness? Awesomeness? Is it hunter? No, it's Boba Fett's ship. Or excuse me, Boba Fett's Starship. How the heck are you registering that name? Oh, yes, this is Boba Fett's Starship. Come in, ground control. Who does that? What kind of lame name is that? Now, technically, this isn't official yet. This is some reports people are getting through Lego, of all people. Now, Disney Corp. Bunch of jackwagons. Don't like them anymore, currently. Lego, on the other hand, has yet to earn our ire, and they still haven't. Because it's Lego that revealed to us, not me specifically, but to the world, the public, whatever, that Disney is trying to go this route. Now, they haven't actually offered an explanation why. They just said, hey, guess what? Disney's asking us, aka demanding, that we remove Slave One from future productions of our Lego 75312 Boba Fett Starship. Just call it Boba Fett Starship. Instead of, Slave One, that everybody's been calling it since freaking episode 5 came out. Now, again, technically speaking, it was never referred to as Slave One in any of the movies that I can remember. I don't think anyone's ever called it that in the movies. This was something that was done by somebody in the background, whether it was one of the actors, one of the producers, writers of the script, somebody writing Legends. I don't know. I don't know who originally came up with the name. I don't care. That was his ship's name, Slave One. Again, Boba Fett, technically not a good guy. It's like trying to change up the Empire as a bunch of, seriously, if you've ever read the Star Wars books, there is a book series out there called, it's the X-Wing series. And one of the books in there, I'm not going to say read the entire series, although I highly recommend it if you want a good book series to read. But one of the books in there has Rogue Squadron infiltrating, like spy infiltrating, not with their spaceships or their X-Wings, but has them infiltrating the Empire because they're trying to figure out, okay, how to take down shields, how to where are the best places to hit to take over Coruscant, or Imperial City as it was called post the Empire Rising, essentially post Episode 3. I don't remember exactly what time the name changed, but it is one of those things you change the name to signify that something's different, even though nothing's really changed for the most part to some people. But anyhow, when you had these individuals, these X-Wing pilots going in there all stealth-like, looking around, learning things, or trying to learn things, they go to a museum about basically the history of the Old Republic, rise of the Empire, stuff like that. Now, this is all taking place, obviously, after the death of Emperor Palpatine. And when they go through this museum, they're looking at how the history is written of the Empire. And they're going, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, there's nothing right in here other than the names of characters. I mean, they have, the Empire was actually trying to stop the evil rebellion from using a mining laser that the Empire designed and built to destroy planets. Mining laser? And apparently the people on Imperial City believe this. Oh, it's a giant mining laser. Oh, horrible. How dare these evil rebels, this rebel alliance, how dare they go out using mining lasers to blow up habited planets, because that's basically who they blamed. After the Empire used the Death Star to blow up Alderaan, they apparently changed the history back on Imperial City to the rebels used that. Yep, it was wholly the rebel that blew up Alderaan. Yeah, to anybody who watched the movie, you know they're straight up lying. This is kind of what's going on here. They're changing the story for no reason. I mean, I understand what the Empire's trying to do. They're trying to put him in a good light, but right now we got the same thing going on here with Boba Fett's history essentially being changed, so he makes it look like he's one of the good guys. He's not. I mean, he is, but he isn't. I mean, really isn't. Okay, so throughout the books, Boba Fett has always been this kind of neutral party. I mean, he's a bounty hunter. Let's face facts here. He follows his own dang code. Now, I do like the character. I mean, obviously, you see the logo for this channel. Boba Fett's half the helmet. I like the character Boba Fett. He's got this, roguish, follow my own code. His code is actually half decent, and he only pursues criminals, or at least what he thinks are criminals. And for those that need the argument, technically speaking, Han Solo was a criminal. That's why he hunted him down. But, once he was paid for a job, that was the job he was going to do. You could not, double the price, triple the price, whatever, to get him to back off the bounty. Once he had taken on a contract that he was going to complete a bounty, he was going to do it. Regardless, it was going to happen. There was no changing his mind. So, he did have this, code of honor type thing going on, which is a great thing. But, he's still, even though he's got a code of honor, it is somewhat corrupted in the fact that he does target good guys as well as bad guys. He has no sense of right and wrong as far as morality is concerned. He's got right and wrong as far as the law is concerned, and let's face facts, the Empire had the wrong law. But regardless, for the ship and for mostly what people know of him outside of Legends, and even in Legends, he's not necessarily a good guy. So having the name of Slave One really isn't anything that should surprise anyone. Now, I will throw this out there, that slave is, it is, but it isn't. There are things out there referred to as slave drives or slave driving that has nothing to do with actual human beings. For instance, in the Star Wars world, this isn't just in Star Wars world, you actually have it in the real world, but people don't realize we call things that. But anyhow, or they actually kept trying to change the name, so we wouldn't refer to it anymore that way. But anyhow, in the Star Wars realm, you have people who would slave ships to another ship. Basically, you'd have this main ship, whatever controls were happening on that ship, it would slave over to the other ship, so they would also go the same way. It was just kind of a form of remote control, and they were just referred to it as slaving the drive. It wasn't, something that's derogatory or anything like that. It just is what it is. It's what you do. What the heck else are you gonna call it? You're forcing something to do something else, whatever. But this is just ridiculous. And apparently, it's not, like I said, Lego hasn't necessarily said that they agree with this. They're just saying, hey, Disney's telling us to do this. We're doing it, not saying one way or the other. But one character in particular is saying, nope, Slave One forever. and that is one of the original Boba Fetts. Now, technically speaking, there are 2 original Boba Fetts. Well, 3. When I say original, the original, there's 2 from Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6. So Episode 5 and 6 had the same character, and then Episode 4, originally Boba Fett wasn't in there. They added him in one of the later releases after his popularity started to grow with, I don't know if it was in 5 specifically or the holiday special, but his popularity started to grow, so they added him in Episode 4 later on. But regardless, the guy's name is Mark Anthony Austin. Again, he's one of them that played one of the original Boba Fetts. You now have that kid that played Boba Fett in Episode 2, and then the guy that played basically every clone, as well as Jango Fett, now playing the new Boba Fett in the Mandalorian series. But anyhow, so the guy that was basically used to do Boba Fett in Episode 4, again, his name is Mark Anthony Austin, has said, "To heck with you, Disney, I'm doing this." Now, I'm going to quote him here as soon as I find the quote again. Basically, he says that nobody will change it in his... There it is. Here's the quote. "My ship will forever be Slave 1. Nothing, not even Disney, can or will change that. This is the way." Basically, he says a few other things too. Apparently, when he went to the DMV, he's trying to get his personalized place to say Slave 1, and they said no. Okay, that's dumb. Why not? What's terrible about that? I mean, I can see, copyright issues, but kind of has copyright since, he played Boba Fett, whatever, who cares? But he basically just freaking way at Disney Corp right now, because he's like, this is dumb. Continuing further quote here. "This Disney idiocy, however, not buying and conforming to the mouse, no siree, not gonna happen. When I was growing up, I loved Disney, no more." Okay, this is from some Twitter posts, so proper grammar notwithstanding, it's a little hard to read. But anyhow, it is one of those things that there are some people pushing back on this. Now, I really wish Disney, or not Disney, I mean Disney Corp, I would love for them to stop doing this stupid stuff. I would love it if Lego said, "Sorry, Disney, not going to happen. I get you supposedly own the rights, but no." I know they're not going to, because that's copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah. There'll be a big fight. But, actually, now that I think about it, if they don't copyright the name, they say, nope, this name is gone, then that means they no longer own the copyright to it, so Lego can name whatever the heck they want Slave 1. Theories here. Theories. We'll see what happens. But anyhow, that was just a quick news update for you on Disney Corp being stupid once again. They have raised the level of their dumbness and wokeness. Now, again, technically speaking, Disney has not straight up come out with official comment on this yet, as far as anyone can tell. This is more backroom dealings that have revealed this information, but don't be surprised if Slave 1 gets an entirely new name for either Mandalorian Season 3, kind of doubtful depending on how they want to roll that way, but most definitely for when they introduce the Book of Boba Fett, they're likely going to make sure that his ship has a different name other than Slave 1. Couldn't tell you what it's going to be. No idea. But this is getting absolutely ridiculous.